Fan selector.
Hello everybody and welcome! Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Golden App! This is the first episode in what will hopefully be a series of episodes about this game, very much inspired by the 70s Formula 1, where we watch dots go around a line and we hope our dot is faster than the others to the finish line. Although I say 70s inspired, it very much is, but there's a lot of modern Formula 1 as well. I will explain as we go. So I thought this would make a fun little series while we wait for the streams to come back. This is going to be unedited, one-take, ad-lib footage, so excuse the occasional mishaps and cat walking of the keyboard moment. Yes, I will post pictures of the cat, don't worry. I will explain the game as we go, and we will be doing a full season in career mode. So without further ado, let's dive in. So I have my personal save here, which is 5 years in, but we're gonna obviously start a new career. And the name will be, well, it's gonna be the name of the channel. I mean, come on. I'm allowed spaces, I'm allowed spaces. Oh, well, Tumbling Satellite doesn't fit, so it's just gonna be okay. Well, after a great start, it's gonna be the Tumbles YouTube. There you go. So we have a choice between 10 teams, and these teams are inspired by real-life Formula 1 teams in the 70s. We have Ezzolini, which is totally not Ferrari, Labron, which is not McLaren, Chapman for Lotus. A couple of those, I'm not sure. Vernier are the French from Ligier. April is March. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can correct me in the comments. And Knight is Team Shadow, which was a US team with no sponsors, with pitch black cars that never really managed to qualify for races. The difficulty basically is which team you pick. Ezzolini, hashtag Ferrari, is the easiest, where you start with the most budget and the better cars, when if you start with Knight, well, good luck. We're gonna start with Knight. This is gonna be a coming-of-age story with a predicted position in 10th. Jet black cars, much hush discussion around the paddock, a enigmatic American team so secretive that its owner has never shown their face. Yeah. What's interesting with this game is that it comes with a full booklet, a PDF, with all the teams and the tracks, which are all real-life inspired. So this description is also in the booklet, but you've got description for each team, and you can see the predicted position in order. This is going to be a sort of rags to riches story. We're going to start at the back of the pack, struggling for points, and hopefully in a couple seasons' time we will be fighting Ezzolini for the title. And I know it's doable because I did that in my own career mode. So let's dive in. Now, before we continue, you don't need to know anything about Formula 1 to enjoy the game. What's going on here is that in order of teams for the year 1970, which brings back memories, the teams pick their crew in order. 2 drivers, 1 chief engineer, and 1 basically pit crew. And yeah, as you can see, everybody picked. And we're gonna have the leftovers. So that bodes well. A lot of the names are inspired by real life. You've got some actual real life names somewhere. And some made up names that are close to real life ones. You'll see as we go, but you may be able to recognize a couple of those. So let's see who are available as drivers. So we got a $35 budget for the whole crew, so we could go for Divan Bauer here, but that's way too expensive. We're gonna have to temperate our expectations. Now, we need 2 drivers, an engineer and a crew chief. We could go all in with a driver and pick a garbage second driver and then garbage crew, but better balance it just in case. Now, at the bottom of the barrel here, you can see that some drivers, they have traits and 2 attributes, speed and focus. Speed is their sheer pace, and focus is how likely they are to have good laps and not have too many bad laps, and also how likely they are to bin it in the wall. Oh, hello, Lance Stroll. No, you're not in here. Yeah, as I mentioned, real names here, Rosingvis being one of them. So we could try to go with Villalba here. He is jealous, so he doesn't like it if he doesn't have the best car, and unshakable. So if he's in the low positions, he's better, but below 10th we don't score any points. So maybe we could go for Acosta here. Let's see. Inefficient, consumes more fuel. Well, that's off to a great start. Unshakable, and patriotic. It's 2 and 3, it's not too bad, but I mean, it's really the best we can have for that budget. So even though he's got not particularly great traits, I think we're gonna go with Acosta for our first driver. Now that's a lot in the budget already. Wait, why do we have minus 24? Excuse me. Right, there is the... Yeah, okay, never mind. We cannot afford him at all. There is the car budget as well. That is already a solid minus $14. It's obviously $1 million or more, but yeah. I guess we're going bottom of the barrel here. Hey, you got 2 points in your stats. Rodriguez, you're a privateer, so you're cheaper. And you're meditator. Have more chances of increasing focus, but less chances of increasing speed when you level up. Well, you're cheap. Gee, this is going to be one hell of a first year. You can see that Ezzolini picked like drivers that are insane. And also he's personable, so more engineer precision, handy, more reliability, patriotic, bonus when racing at home. Yeah, let's see, Rinaldi. Privateer, you're jerk. You're efficient, you consume less fuel, and you're patriotic. Antoine Morel. More reliable car, and you don't cost anything. Yeah, okay. Silkworm. Oh, less tire wear is very good, though. I like less tire wear. Both Italians, Romano and Vitali here, are completely identical. What about Edwards? You're a jerk, but you're an efficient jerk. I think I'm gonna go with Romano here. Less tire wear could allow us to avoid going to the pits too often. And it's good not going to the pits too often because our crew chief is likely going to suck. Okay, we've got... How much? I got $20 left. We could get some solid people. Grant Mitchell, avant-garde. Better cars when building new parts. An aerodynamicist. Better chassis. I mean, you're very good. James Pope. Oh, you're a good tuner. That's important. Good driver report. So it buffs drivers on every session. Okay, I think we're splashing on James Pope here. Because, very good. And if our drivers suck, at least let's have a good crew. Yeah, this is not going to be the story of Cadillac with former race winners and World Championship runner-ups. This is very much going to be more like Minardi, and we poached a few good engineers from Ferrari or whatnot. And we've got $11 reduced left. Ralph Hamburger. Oh, that's one hell of a name. Are you a chef or a crew chief? Steady hands. Better pit stops. Ah, no, wait. Slightly longer, but less likely to fail. And you're a party animal, so you may have debuff before every race. I can see why you were not picked. Maybe Falskog? Oh god, that's gonna be a mouthful. Wet strategist. You're better on dry tires in the wet, which can be good to push a few more laps before having to pit for new tires. And a fuel strategist. Oh, you're good. Risk taker. I don't like that. 10% slower tire wear. Ooh, that's good. Let's try Falskog and hope I don't have to pronounce it too often. How much money is that left? Nothing. We got $1. And we cannot do experiment. Okay. So then you select your car design. You can go conservative, where performance is a bit lower, but it's high reliability, balanced, and experimental, where you may have better performance, but the reliability is impacted. I don't have much of a choice. I'm gonna go balanced. The last thing we need is to have a DNF when we are in the points once every blue moon. So yeah, that's gonna be our setup. Now don't worry if you don't understand what everything does. I will explain as we go. First episode is gonna be a bit longer, as I will do a lot of explaining the game mechanics, but I think we're gonna do 1 or 2 races per episode. I'm aiming probably for, I don't know, anywhere between 30 and 50 minutes episodes. Well, let's start the season. That's us, with Carlos Rodriguez, Antonio Romano, James Pope, and, oh my god, Hakan Falskog. I probably butchered that. Now, we choose a sponsor for the season. The sponsor is going to give you fixed income for each race, which is race income, a bonus depending on your finishing position, and a season bonus depending on your position at the end of the season. Now, I don't foresee us getting any good position. So we're going to go, I think, with metal tubing to get a bit of, like, surefire money each race. I don't see us finishing 8 or above in many races here, so we're going to go with the surefire money. Our goal, really, this first season is to develop the car, the drivers, and hopefully score a few points here and there. Pitch black car looks good. So you can see the calendar here. There's 12 races, I think, per season, and these circuits are very much inspired by real life. The Autodromo Gran Lago, the circuit of the Great Lakes in Argentina, is inspired by real life circuits. Which one was it? Hermano Rodriguez? No, that's Brazil. I didn't remember. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me off. It is not inspired by Brazil and Interlagos. It exists, it is in the game, but not the season. Each season, the tracks will be randomized with a few options. Mutton Chop here, which is totally not Silverstone, has a higher chance of showing up. And the Circuit de Casino, which is totally not Monaco, will show up every time because the sponsors love it. Well, doesn't that bit of real life? Each track, there you got Watkins Glen here. This is totally Catalunya, Barcelona. What? Monza? No, this isn't Monza. This is totally not Monza. We've got Francis Hollow here. Oh god, what is it? The UK track. Brands Hatch. It's Brands Hatch. We've got Zandvoort here. The Fuji Speedway, Sake Speedway, etc., etc. So a lot of real-life inspired tracks, all of them are. Watkins Glen, this is Spa. And each track has its traits. So for instance, at Silverstone, it's a mainstay, it's going to be there almost every year, it's going to be wide, and it's going to be rainy, because it's the UK. In Spa, it's going to be rainy, because it's Spa, and it's bumpy, so higher crash chance. For our first track here, the Autodromo Gran Lago, it is bumpy, higher crash chance. Now, it is very much inspired by the 70s, which means that when there's a crash, there's a chance your pilot could be fine, but he could also be injured. Or dead. Very, very dead. So, careful when it's rainy. Don't tell them to push too much. You don't want them to, bin it. Bottle it more than Norris is bottling his championship chances anyway. So in the standings, well, 0 points going through, and we can go to the garage. We can see our car performance. Now the car is divided in 3 parts: engine, chassis, and steering. You can improve them in 2 different ways. You could upgrade an existing part, which for $3 reduce will increase its performance and reliability slightly. So you can see it as fixing the part and tweaking it to be a bit better. But for $6 reduce, you can build a brand new part, which will have a much higher performance, usually 100 to 200 points more, but also it will start with lower reliability. So even if you want to build a new part for $6, you better keep $3 to then increase its, repair it to increase its reliability. Now, of course, for now, we have, bloody no money, so that's a non-factor, and we don't see the characteristics of the other cars. It would take us spying on other teams, which would cost $10, and we have absolutely no availability to do. However, as we go on, you can spy on other teams and even sabotage or steal some parts. Now, if you get caught, you need to pay $15 and you lose 10 points in the championship. But, if you go from 2.3k performance to 2.9, it could be interesting later down the line, if you don't get caught. But this is all for the future. Let's go for the first race. So, the way it works, you don't have free practice and quali separate. You have 1 session, the qualifier, and 1 race. the way quali works, it's not like modern Formula 1 when you have Q1, Q2, Q3. It's much closer to old school. You basically have 1 hour. Well, the game says 1 hour. It's much faster in real life, you'll see. To just put in the fastest lap. And as time goes on, like 52 minutes, as time goes on, the track is going to improve, the grip is going to improve, and you're going to be able to tune the car to set up faster and faster laps. In here, weather is not going to be an issue. It's just going to be cloudy, no rain, so we'll be on soft tires. But in some sessions, you better set up a very fast lap right at the beginning of the session because it starts raining and it's just a whole mess, and that makes it interesting. Not the case here, so let's do this. Now, the crew chief of Team Hemlock, David Hughes, feels invigorated with a +1 bonus to their ability. Good on them. And nobody drunk. There is another event where a driver or a crew can get a bit tipsy the day before and suffer a penalty to their ability, but that's not the case. So this is the game screen, the main screen, the only screen, I want to say. You got the track, you've got the cars. Now, the numbers are not the driver numbers. You don't need to try and remember driver numbers. These are just the positions, and since everybody's in the pit, there is really no position. You got the track, where you can see the name of the turns. So we've got La Serpentina de la Estancia. My Spanish is a bit rusty. Serpentine is like a zigzag, a curve, and then Stancia is, I don't know. Curva del Granizo. Interesting. Curva del Rosedal. I should have looked this up. Curva de la Luna. The moon's curve. Beautiful. Curva del Mate. Is that? Matar, kill? Curva de la Bandera, yada yada. Yeah, you catch the drift. And very often these names are inspired from real life names. I don't know this track all too well in real life, but in places like Monaco, etc., you'll be able to see. So what we're going to do first is tune the car. Now, we haven't set a lap time, so we can't tune the car. We're just going to put soft tires on and send them out. Now, the game is paused. You can pause the game at any time, and you can speed time up. I will start with a slow pace, and as we get more familiar with the game, I will accelerate. But for now, we are putting soft tires on, and immediately we send our cars out. Now we're going to space them out slightly, and we can follow road address. Now, this is the out lap. They're warming out the tires, trying to get some temperature in there. And then they will be on their fast lap once they go on the start-finish line, which is right here. So this is the game. This is circles going around a line. Now we've got nice clean air. Number 4 here will not be happy. Like Hostler is stuck behind Fonseca for his fast lap. He won't be happy. Now please don't get stuck behind Loop here. No, we're good. We're good. All right. And immediately, I'm pausing, Rodriguez has an event. Because of his low focus, his lap is gonna suck. Let's see, Romano does the same. Yep, does the same, all right. Okay, so these first 2 laps are gonna suck, but they're gonna push. This is their fast lap. And, okay, for the sectors, it's very simple. If you're purple, you've been the fastest on track this day. If you're green, this is your personal best. And if you're white, you haven't improved. Now, of course, it is the first lap. They're going to get purples and green until the next cars. Yep, Retti in the Enzolini. He's got the fastest lap, and he's overtaking on the quali lap. Jesus. Now, drivers complain when they have to overtake during quali and during a push lap, and that makes sense. But Rodriguez with a much better time. Okay, they are within 800s of each other, and yeah, as you can see, we are 6 seconds behind the pace. Yeah, so in terms of time, we are more in the 70s, where you could have 10 seconds between the first and the last driver on the grid before they installed the 107% lap time, etc. Yeah, so you expect wide gaps. But at least our 2 drivers with their bad laps, they're only 800ths of a second from each other, so I don't know. So now they're on their in-lap, they're going to go back to the pit. Box. Let's hope we don't pull out a Ferrari strategy, although they're better in 2025. Yeah. So we're pitting, and now we're going to be able to tune the car. Using the experience our drivers have accumulated during this lap and their feedback, we can tune all 3 parts of our cars: engine, chassis, and steering. Engine is acceleration out of the corners. Chassis is just overall speed for the long straights. And steering is, I mean, braking and cornering. So the way tuning works... Yeah, okay, I get it. Our car sucks, and it don't... The way it works, you've got these dots here, these little pips, which are ability points that are given by your crew chief. And it's good to have a good crew chief because we get more pips. By investing, for instance, 2 here or 5 ability points here, we can increase the value of our part, the performance, by a certain amount of points. And as you can see, there's a white part here, a gold part here, and a red part. The goal is to add enough points to reach the gold part, which is called a golden tune, without going over and getting in the red, because in that case you have a tune and you go back down. So, in that case, the track has some long straights and tight corners. So on the long straights, we may want chassis. We already got pretty good handling, but I think I'm going to go with acceleration first to leave these corners a bit faster. So here, if I spend 5 pips, I will have between 4 and 20 points. It's random. Hooray! And we got 16, that's not bad. And 16 again, Jesus, okay, Hope is on fire here. And the goal, what I usually do for tuning is just, I try to make the most profitable. I try not to take too many risks. For instance, 1 to 4 here, 1 to 6 here, but it's a bit more expensive, so I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to go with a low tuning, and that's +3. That's not bad. And every time they do a timed lap, the ability points are renewed. So I'm going to go with that. Wow, that is a serious tune. Put some more soft tires and get ready to get back out. And we do the same for the second car. So I'm going to go with... Do I go with chassis? Let's not put all of our eggs in the same basket. Let's try to do different things. Wow, +4 for 5 pips. Okay, sorry, Romano. Pope gave it all for Rodriguez. Oops. Let's go with that. There. I very much do it a bit vibing. I used to calculate everything for each one, which one was the most profitable. I can eyeball it now. It doesn't really matter all that much. And send them back out. Now, you do need to be careful to not send them back out in traffic. Otherwise, they will be impeded during their quick lap. And there is no such thing as blue flags or whatever. If you're stuck behind somebody, tough luck. And the drivers will complain. Now, let's hope all of these leave the pit before we reach the finish line. Please? Please? Oh god, we're going to be in traffic on this lap, aren't we? Now, in the bottom left corner, you can see this is tire wear. So during quali, it doesn't really matter. You only do 1 lap on each tire, and you can't focus. Okay, Romano doesn't have focus issues, but he's kind of behind traffic here. In the bottom left corner, you can see tire use. Doesn't really matter during quali. The gray part is the grip of the track, which increases as the cars leave more and more rubber on the line. Below is humidity, which, well, it doesn't really matter. It's a dry session here. All right, let's see your laps. You're both improving. That's good because we've tuned the car and we've improved. Okay, P6 and P7. This is not where we belong. I suspect by the end of the session we're going to drop dramatically unless either Rodriguez or Romano pull out a monster lap. But that's really surprisingly good. We're supposed to be fighting for, like, not being last. So far, maybe it's thanks to our god tier engineer. And that's the gist of quali. So let's tune, try to reach the golden tune. Ooh, that's not as good. Ah, close to the golden tune, but not quite there. It's fine. Okay, and we tried chassis with Romano. Oh, whoa! Oh lord, that was a very good tuning, better than the one we had earlier. Okay, the cars are basically tuned at the same level, so I used to try and time and calibrate when we would go out, but it's just between the in laps, out laps, and push laps, it's very hard to do. at the end of the session is going to be the start grid order. Now, I will speed things up a bit. Speed is in the bottom right corner. So let's see. Okay, clear track. Oh, and Rodriguez is in the zone. He's got a bonus to his abilities on this lap, so we are expecting Rodriguez to do green sectors through and through. Let's go, Rodriguez. Show me green. Good. Romano? Good. All right. Push. Don't bin it. Track is bumpy. So higher chance of accident. Let's not jinx it. Okay, Rodriguez, show us a P3. Even temporary, I'll take it. Not quite. And Romano, and you can see they're half a second apart. That's probably because Rodriguez was extra focused on this lap. So he got a bit of performance out of the car. It's even P8 and 9 is not where we belong. We should really be fighting for the bottom of the barrel, so I'm not complaining. I need to recalibrate my expectations compared to my personal save. All right, let's try to go for this golden tune this time. So you can see here, that would be a massive risk. Because if we overtune, if you go in the red, you fall back down like at 2/3 of the bar. You don't want that. You never want that. So, and golden tune! Golden tune, you get basically over the maximum and you can't touch it anymore. So now we can try and do the rest. And I think we're going to go for chassis. Because the steering is better. The steering is already not that bad. Well, it's bad compared to any other team, but you can see we gain 80 points, which is not a small amount. Well, no, we gain 80 tuning points. Compared to our first lap, where our general performance was at 2295, performance is now 2316, which is significantly better. I do not believe that Mac, which is 6 seconds off the road from us, has a performance of 2231. I mean, maybe it's just a driver, but 6 seconds is absolutely brutal. God, guys, you suck. All right, chassis. Okay, that not bad. Not bad. Not bad. All right, let's try to get the golden tune as well. And golden tune. Let's go. We're on a roll, baby. Yeah, I'm going to leave the steering alone. There's quite a bit of steering on this track, but as I said, steering was not our... Well, I'm not going to say our strong point, but our least weak point. Ugh. Doesn't exactly inspire confidence, does it? Alright, we seem to have a good position. Clear track from Romano. Kinda clear for Rodriguez, but Ryan is on his in lap, so he's going to box. Rosingvist is on a push lap, but too slow compared to us. I think we've done a very good job at tuning the car. Getting Pope as an engineer was probably the best thing. Oh, Rodriguez is in the zone. Romano is on the opposite of the zone. So expect the delta between the two to increase. Of course, there can be accidents. Yellow flags, red flags, death. Ooh. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. We don't wish harm upon all the pilots. Especially not on the first, Grand Prix. All right, Rodriguez, show me progress. And that's P8. Romano up to P11. But almost a second off the road. Romano, you're going to have to get it together, man. It is not a good showing. All right, move time forward a bit. Wow. And back to the pit. Back to the pit. Expect me saying that a lot. All right, let's speed things up a bit, shall we? I think you got the picture. If you got any questions regarding what I'm doing, don't hesitate to slap them down in the comment, like and subscribe, blah, 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 YouTube things. I hate doing that. But apparently it works, so... All right, I'm gonna move speed time up a bit. We're in quali, it doesn't really back too much, and we're only half an hour in, so probably gonna be a one race episode. There's a lot of explaining this first episode. Okay, green sectors for both. Rodriguez up to 8, Romano up to 9, only 3/10 off. Okay, we're getting there. Now, the more laps you can do, the more you can tune the car, so I tend to just spam like an idiot. Try to get as many laps in as I can. Because God knows we need the tuning. And I overcooked it. Oh! We had a high roll, and that's a bloody waste. Sorry, Rodriguez. But you've been in the zone this entire time, so you can, you know. Don't tell me we got a GP2 engine. It's not a yoke. All right. Times 4. Rodriguez, you're not stuck behind Rodney Campbell. Rodney Campbell is gonna box. Oh, no, he's on his outlap as well. Well, sorry. See, that's one example. He's complaining on the radio for the entire lap. And you can see that we've got some white here in the first sector. That's because he did not improve. Probably was stuck behind Rodney Campbell, as he's told me about 73 times during his lap. I get it, but what can we do? Okay, let's try not to bin it this time. Okay, and we're not getting lucky rolls. Okay, Rodriguez, I'm not sabotaging you, I promise. Just a bit of... And we got the golden tune for the engine. Now, if a session goes well and you've got a good enough engineer, you can golden tune all 3 parts. It is an achievement. But I'm not picturing that happening in our first season, if I'm being honest. Unless we get exceptionally lucky. Romano in P10 is quite surprising, but I'll take it. Oh, and we're blocking Schaub. He's also on a push lap, and we're kind of blocking. Now, in real life, that would be bad, but hey, if he started his push lap just behind us, that's not my fault. And Rodriguez 7th, and Romano 8th. Okay, despite Rodriguez's car being tuned like a Minardi. Good times. Okay, and if we push, 4 minutes left in the session, we should have time for one more tune. Let's try to get the golden tune on the chassis this time. And not absolutely bin it. There we go. Okay. And we're going to throw last points in steering because, I mean, we may as well. All right, that's not a bad tuning. That is not bad at all for a first session. No yellow or red flags. Nobody binned it. That's kind of rare, especially on a bumpy track with a higher risk of, let's say, just an incident. And I started just behind Moretti, but Moretti is driving an Azzolini. He's 4 seconds off the road from us. He's not going to impede our lap. If anything, we're going to impede the lap of Rosingvis behind. Wait, no, Rosingvis is on an in-lap. He's already on his push lap. Okay, please nobody leave the pit lane in front of us. My drivers are going to throw a hissy fit. And you've got Lavera just on an out lap in front of us. And Romano can't focus. This is your last lap, guys. Make it count. Get some slipstream. I don't know. Qualifying complete. Let's finish our lap. Rodriguez, P7 for now. Wow. And Romano, P8. We could get overtaken by Cillier, for instance, and then qualified 0.02 of a second apart. No, 18, not 2. I can read. I know numbers. Okay, so pretty similar performance. I mean, the drivers have identical stats and very similar cars. We're getting pushed down the order, though, and I think that's going to be it. P10 and 11. That is pretty solid qualifying for both of our drivers. I'm impressed. Considering, well, their skill. I don't think their car is that much inferior to the others, but we're going to be struggling to get any amount of money. So, improvement will be slow, both on the car and the drivers. But hey, it's the first season. All right, that was quali. Now, as for the race, it's not going to be raining. Cloudy, overcast, partly cloudy. So we're going to be playing with soft, medium, and hard tires. This is the starting grid. We are P10 and P11. Now, regarding points, it's like Formula 1 in 2024. So points are rewarded to driver between 1st and 10th, with 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, I believe. And there is an extra point for the fastest lap, called the Golden Lap. Title drop. So if we can maintain these positions, we'll get 1 point. I have zero hope. But we seem to have some pace around the track today, so I don't know. Now, this is how we're going to pick our race strategy. We can change it at any time, but we could... Oh, it's going to start on a slightly wet track, which is very good because our chief engineer makes it so that we have more pace on a slightly damp track when we drive on dry tire. So, what I think I'm going to be doing... soft tires, they have the most grip, the most performance, but they don't last very long. Hard tires last very long, but they have poor performance. And mediums are... Guess what? Mediums. Now you can see the wet range of the tires. We are barely within dry tire territory. So everybody's going to start on the dry tires, which makes sense because the rain is going to... It has already stopped. The track is going to... The track is going to dry. But... yeah, we're going to start on the dry now. I could start on softs and try to push as much as possible while the track is wet. Try to take advantage of our chief strategist, of our crew. Or I could say, I don't trust our pit stops, because this is a two-stop strategy, and we could go hard for the tires. There is no mandatory tire usage. You can do soft, hard, whatever, but I don't think this is looking like a two-stop strategy, right? Unless we go hard, but we won't have the pace. Now, one thing that's going to impact it as well is red flags or yellow flags. You have to slow down. So you're not going to be using your tires as much. So I'm going to take a risk. The track is bumpy. We expect accidents. So I'm going to go on soft tires at first. And try to make as much ground as possible while it's slightly wet. And let's hope somebody bends it around lap 8 or 9 and we can have a free pit stop. These are the driving strategies and engine modes. So there is no refueling in this game. This is very similar to modern Formula 1. Back then you could refuel, you had to refuel. But here you got one full tank for the whole race. You can get low fuel usage, so low acceleration out of the corners, but low usage, the opposite, and the middle ground. Now, you can't do the whole race while pushing. If you do the whole race while pushing, you will finish on negative 2.3 laps of fuel. So you got to balance your consumption. We're going to push right off at the beginning, especially considering I suspect we're going to be lapped once, if not twice. So we're going to be doing one fuel lap. At first, we're going to push. And we've got the same on the tires. So you could go neutral, conserve your tires, or push like crazy. Now, when you push like crazy, your crash chance goes high, and I will show that during the race right now. The crew chief has partied too hard for Team Chapman. Oh, no. So, 20 drivers on the grid. Now, you can see here, you've got your high push, and this is the driver stress. If it's going to increase, because we told them to push, if it goes too high, you're going to crash. But at the start, we're going to push. It's 5 red lights. And away we go for the Argentinian Grand Prix. Oh my god, Romano just shot up. Rodriguez fell asleep, but Romano, oh my god, P3. Okay, P4. Jesus. That was one hell of a lap at the start. Now you can see here, we got the stress coming up, and I want to manage that, but Jesus, Romano. Rodriguez collapsed to 13, but Romano on the soft tires just shot up to 5th. Jesus. Okay, that is not where we belong. Okay, and you can see we are in a medium crash chance. The track is bumpy, so we have a higher crash chance from the track. Our drivers are not good, and he can't focus, so let's just quiet things down. But I'm going to keep them pushing the fuel, just because it's wet, and we like it when it's wet. You can see the pit crew here has... Okay, I can't see the pit crew abilities here, but... And yeah, you're getting overtaken. It's fine. It's fine. You're not good enough to complain about that. P6 is already not where we belong. And we're going to push. We're going to push as much as possible without risking bidding it. Because as long as it's wet, we need... And Romano is in the zone. Very good. We need to push as much as possible while the track is slightly wet and we've got fresh, soft tires. Because this is a moment. This is where we can make ground. We got hard tire runners here in Lovera, and he's still making ground on us. Ugh. Okay, let's cool it. Let's cool it a bit. We need enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. And to finish first. First you have to finish. Which you can't do if you bit it in the wall and pull off a Austrian Baku. Okay, Lovera has way more top speed than us, but he cannot overtake. He does not manage. Now, our tires are getting shredded. We are not nice to our tires, but that's the strat. And we got overtaken by Lovera. That's fine. Now, what we hope for now is a yellow or green flag to be able to get a cheap pit stop. Because these soft tires already starting to fall off a cliff. What I tend to do is when our drivers have a good lap, when they're in the zone, as indicated by the message on the top right corner, I tell them to push as much as possible. But yeah, let's try to make these soft tires last a bit longer. I'm not going to give them any instructions to push or not push. Let's speed things up a bit. We're already getting gap to P10 to La Rousse. And this is not a DRS train, but yeah. And somebody's already pitted. Rodriguez is pitted. And no, not Rodriguez, that's us. I don't know who it was, but we got some pit. Uh-oh. And this is what I'm talking about. Piet Silje crashed. It was P8. And it looks bad, means that at the end of the race, the game isn't going to roll a dice. Driver could be completely fine, miraculously, or be out of commission for a couple races, or straight up leave this first race of the championship in a coffin. And we have a red flag. What does red flag mean? Everybody's going to line up on the grid, and you get free pit stops. So now you can see the new strategy here, and I think we're going to go medium, maybe medium hard, but we're going to start on the medium tires. Maybe we go hard. I think I'm going to go with medium for both, and hope for another cheap pit stop. Well, in that case, everybody pitted. Everybody's getting the same, but see, our soft tires were starting to die, and we get free tire change. And what you can do during red flag, and what you should do, you can repair the car to get better reliability. You want to improve the performance, but you improve the reliability without having to spend $3 on each part in between the races. So it's very good, actually. So I'm going to go with medium for both. Now, this gap here is how long the race is going to be stopped, because they need to remove Silje's car from the barrier and remove Silje from his car and the barrier. So let's speed time up, and we're gonna have a brand new start, where we start P11 and P6 and P9, which is way above our pay grade, but hey, we'll take it. 3, 2, 1, and away we go again. I'm gonna pause immediately and tell them to push like it's going out of fashion. You can see that even if we push full speed, we still have negative 1.4 laps left. Because, well, we haven't raced for a few laps, sorry. And let's see, P4, Romano! And P11 for Rodriguez. Jesus, Rodriguez, that is not your day. Everybody went for hard tires. Okay, interesting. So let's keep pushing. Are we going to have some high point scoring on the first race? Wouldn't that be one hell of a start for Team Knight? All right, don't bin it. Quiet down. We don't want to be the cause of another red flag. We're going to go medium, I think. Maybe medium hard, but everybody went for hard tires except us. The AI is usually not too bad at knowing which tires they need to use. All right, we have been overtaken by the Insolini of Mac, but that's fine. They have insanely better drivers. Oh, Romano's in the zone. Okay, push. And both are in the zone. Okay, these are push laps, guys. I want you guys to get in these tires and push like it's going out of... God damn it, Rodriguez. You're just sinking. Not thinking, but sinking. Come on. You're in the zone, you told me. You got fresher tires. You got better tires. There you go. Jesus. Hit my desk, Conan. Yeah, don't do that. Don't trash talk. Romano, you can't focus, so let's not push you over the edge. If you can't focus, there's a higher chance of binning it. Not only are you going to be slower, but you're going to be very slow if you end up in the lake. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, Rodriguez. Ooh. Red stress here. Recta del Mar, which is the sea strait. If my Spanish does not betray me, and it very well could, but I'm pretty confident on this one. Alright, let's zoom out a bit. Romano seems like he's running in a pretty comfortable P5. Getting a bit of time from Tristan Loop here, but because we have better tires, and that's not going to last, these mediums are going to start falling off a cliff pretty soon, and I mean, Loop is a much better driver than I am, but if they're fighting with Mortson, then all the better for us. Mortson is just coming onto us now. Okay, Romano is in the zone. Push, 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 push. And Rodriguez can't focus. Get it together. You can see we are slowing everybody down here. The Inzolini and the Brabham here. No, not the Brabham, the McLarens. Well, but not McLarens are just taking off several seconds a lap from us. And we're just blocking everybody. But hey, they can't overtake. It's a them problem, not us. Although we're going to have to pit earlier, but they're not going to get their hard tires to last until the end of the race, are they? No way. Romano is going to get overtaken by Morton on this straight, I believe. The Sky Straight, Recta del Cielo. Sorry to all two people who speak Spanish listening to this. I'm not a native Spanish speaker. I'm not even a native English speaker, so... This is actually going pretty well. Okay, Romano isn't... Jesus, Romano, what did you have for breakfast? Big time up a bit. Okay, creating a bit of a gap to Morton. Now we're going to have to pit. I'm not saying we hope somebody bins it, so that we can have a cheap pit stop, or even a free one again, but I'm not saying I'm not hoping for it. Now, Rodriguez seems to be stuck in P12 in no man's land here. That seems to be his natural pace, which, to be fair, is much higher than I was expecting, so not bad. Not even disappointed. I was expecting us to be between P15 and, yeah, but seems we have pace. Pays off to have a decent engineer. By the way, if you're looking for a space systems engineer, I'm fully available for employment. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, we're going to have to box them pretty soon. I think we're going to box next lap. That red flag is not coming. So, Romano, you're going to push like crazy, and then you're going to pit for a fresh set of hard tires to go to the end of the race. And Rodriguez, you're going to do the same. Now, it may seem like we're not going to make it to the end of the race, but we will. Because this is on hard push. Your tires degrade faster. And it seems that even on fast push for the fuel, we are going to make it. So we're going to leave fuel on push for Rodriguez. Okay, let's slow down a bit. And Romano, negative 0.1 lap. Okay, you will be able to full push when you leave the pit, I think. Now, of course, we're going to lose a lot of positions in the pit, but I don't believe their hard tires are going to last until the end of the race. I don't see a world where they can achieve that, so... And we're still P11, despite our pit stop, and we got much fresher tires, so even if they don't stop, we have an opportunity to score points here. Now, we don't want to stay stuck behind a slower driver for too long, so please push. Try to overtake Campbell here. You can't overtake. Well, have you tried? I know, we're being bogged down. Our undercut is not working. Rodriguez's undercut may be functioning, though. Push a bit. Try to get a couple of fast laps in before they all pit. And hopefully we can be in front of them when they leave the pit lane. And Romano, you're going to pull it light. Okay, both have enough fuel to last until the end of the race, so they're going to get pushing on fuel. I'll overtake Rodney Campbell. I am fully aware. Okay, you're in the zone. Come on. You're in the zone. You got better tires. You got better everything. You got high fuel use. Just slipstream past, please. Nope, you're bogged down behind them. Come on. Come on. Braking zone. No, you're gonna take over. Okay, let's. Oh my God, you sank from P11 to P13 trying to get P10. Not ideal. Not ideal. You in the zone? Yeah, well, you said that last time and you lost 2 positions trying to get 1. Okay, good. Good. It's high stress here, so I don't want Romano to be the cause of... Oh God, Rodriguez. Oh my God. I wasn't paying attention. Don't bin it, please. Never happens when I play on my own, but when you're doing commentary, it's a bit easier to miss things. Okay, back to P11. Jesus. Come on, overtake Campbell. You're faster. You're in the zone. And, oh, we overtook Laus in the pits. So back to point scoring position. And I suspect there's going to... Yeah, more pit stops are coming, but we got bogged down behind Campbell here. Rodriguez, you're try your best, man. Oh, come on! Laus on fresh tires just breezed past us. To be fair, they have a better... Oh, come on! Rodriguez, Romano, what the hell? And now they're all pitting, but we couldn't take advantage of fresher tires. You can't overtake Schaub. You can't overtake anyone, man! Push, push. Both of you, push. Okay, we got P10 and P11. And Loop is going to have to pit, but I think Loop is too far off the road so that we can catch. So let's speed things up a bit. Come on, Romano. Oh God, Romano got overtaken by Rodriguez. Okay, so Rodriguez has a second win. Come on, you got fresher tires? No, you got fresher tires than Xiao. Come on. Breathing down his gearbox. Okay, you can give team orders to have them do easy overtakes. I don't do that. Unless it's a very specific position, like better tire wear or whatnot, you can do team orders, but papaya rules here. Okay, guys, if you keep on overtaking each other, it's kind of pointless. You're both in the points now. Well, not if Loop can... Yep. Oh God, Rodriguez, very good. Romano just fell off a cliff, man. He wasn't in better qualification, and Rodriguez completely bottled the start, but doing great now. Okay, let's move things up a bit. Don't think there's going to be many more pit stops. So it's going to be a matter of not getting any yellow flags and give them the opportunity to push when they are on a good lap. Schaub is going to pit. Right? There's no way Schaub... Oh no, it's only 3 laps left. He's not going to pit. So let's push on our tires a bit. Try to make up some time. Let's see. Okay, we're going to get lapped. Maybe not. We'll see. But okay, I wasn't expecting a P8. So Rodriguez, you're in the zone. Push. Don't bin it, but push. Rodriguez in the zone as well. Okay, Rodriguez, if you can get P10 or even P9, that would be a double point finish. Is way more than I could hope for. But stop pushing. You're gonna bin in. Come on, overtake Schaub. Schaub is driving on nothing. Got no tires. Last lap for the leader. Come on, you can do it. You can get it. Schaub has no tires. Push it to the limit, man. Okay, Rodriguez is going to finish P8. Is Romano going to be able to overtake Schaub right at the death? I don't think he is. It's not looking like it. No, but Rodriguez with a P8. An amazing point finish. Okay, we got news from the hospital. It's Solier in the hospital. They'll be out for 1 race. They're fine. Just a little bit of a fracture. That's reassuring. We do not wish harm on our opponents. Not in the first race. Now, we have scored 4 points by Carlos Rodriguez, who started off terribly and ended very strong, and Romano did the opposite. It was bogged down behind Schaub, not managing to overtake, but that is way higher than what we should be. I am very impressed by these 2 guys. That is the podium. When we are on the podium, you get a little bottle of champagne, but that's far off in the future. And we scored 4 points, which puts us P5 in the team standings. Now, of course, it's only the first race of the season, but as I mentioned, This is way higher than we should be. Chapman are way better. Then again, one of their drivers binned it in the wall, so there's that. And we completed our sponsors challenge because we finished P12 or above, so we get $1 extra redo. That's $4. 5 overall. Not enough for a new part. Driver championship, well, that's... Now, what's going to have to happen is that... Yeah, of course, it's the same. Cillier will have to be replaced at Team Hemlock, and it's going to be replaced by Alessandro Rinaldi, which is the exact clone of Romano. Could have hired him, we didn't, and that is our first race. Now, we've got a sponsor challenge available. Ooh, what's that? Basically, you got 1 race or 2 races to do a challenge, and if you do, you get more money. So we could golden tune the engine, or not use the same tire compound on more than 1 driver. We're going to golden tune the engine. We're basically guaranteed to do that. Because not using the same tire compound on 1 driver, if it rains, we're screwed. And next race is wet. So yeah. Now, we don't have enough to make a new part, and we could try to upgrade a part. We're going to keep our money to make new parts. It's just infinitely better than try to repair what's falling apart, and it seems we have some modicum of pace. Again, very surprised. I thank my engineer and crew chief. That pit stop actually got me an achievement because it was under 7 seconds. I never had that in 5 years career mode. That crew chief, Falskog, is incredible. And the reason why we could push and fuel for the whole race, well, thanks to his fuel strategist aspect. And the reason we could push at the beginning was thanks to his wet strategist aspect. 10% more speed on dry tires with a wet track, which is why we started on softs. But that will be it for the first episode of Golden Lap. I hope everybody enjoyed. I think I'm going to enjoy this series very much. Let me know in the comment if you got some feedback, some tips, maybe, some whatever. Or if you tell me you hate my voice. And I'll be seeing you in the next episode very quickly. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.